good players create their own luck. And so, yeah, you may have gotten lucky, but when I hear luck in business, it's because you put yourself in a position to score the goal.
Right.
You were doing something to get the call from your friend that said, right? So you were a good agent for him. And then even when the director calls you up out of 10 other agents, the luck didn't happen to be we're going to pick the worst one,
Right.
right? So talk to me about how maybe you position your mindset around that.
Well, I don't know how I positioned it necessarily other than keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I think if you're genuine with people, they're going to be more receptive. And as time goes along, they see you more and they're like, okay, I like you, and you've proven that you're going to stick around and you know what you're doing. So yeah, let's talk.
Yeah.
And we really had there was an agency that had there was an individual that had about 90% of the dentists in the state at the time, and so it was tough. I mean, he did a good job. So it was tough because a lot of people are like, why would I want to do that? I'm very happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
So we just had to persevere and make sure that we continue doing what we do.
Yeah.
And that's really what we did.
Well, and Mike Darrow is, I would say you're a relationship guy. And so for me, even a good friend and you helping me with my insurance and different things in my life, I've never felt pushed. I've always felt like you've come from contribution, and but you're also always there when it's ready or when it's needed to have that conversation. And I think that so many people can go out there. I'm not suggesting that closing is a
Right.
bad thing, but Mike has this unique gift of connecting first, and he connects with you in a deep, meaningful way, providing value. And then I think the thing that always has been so impressive to me is that follow up. Is that follow up to be right there when it's needed. And I think that's probably what happened with the dental association. And so I want to talk about this because it's unique and it's really changed. I would say maybe even changed your life.
Mhm.
Um, so here we are. You're running as an individual. You come in, you get this opportunity, and you create this partnership with the association. So tell the listeners exactly what you're doing today and kind of how that model works.
Okay. Well, you've known me for a long time, and you know that I'm not the most organized person. Uh, Probably an understatement, a little bit or a lot. So that was the toughest thing for me is really the organization of it all, and just having the systems in place, and I didn't have that. Now the company that we did some of our insurance with, because I went into property casualty at that point too, which I hadn't done before, and that was a big change for me. But the company we were dealing with, they were very good, and they supported me very, very well. I didn't have access to certain things, but I didn't need them because I had access to them. And
Mhm.
and they did a lot of the back office stuff that I just had no idea what they were doing, or what I would need to do. Now, a few years ago, probably about 3 years ago now, that changed. That company sold. It was a new company,
Oh boy.
and all of a sudden, boom, April 1, you're on your own. I'm like, "Well, what does that mean?" Like, I'm on my own. Well, we became a full-fledged agency. We had to do all of the service stuff that I didn't even know they had been doing,
Yeah.
and it changed, and at one point, I think, like, 20% of our business was in late pay status because they did something so different than what we had been doing. And so that was for me, that was a big struggle.
Yeah.
And organizing all of that. I didn't have an admin at that point because this company had been my admin. And so it was a huge, huge difference.
And when you've encountered those, Mike, in your business, those challenges and like it's inevitable. Those are
Right.
happening in everybody's business, right? How do you address it? Like, how do you keep moving forward?
Well, I just put my put my head down and burn through it. I mean, I had to do it.
Yeah.
So there was nobody else. Now there is, because I couldn't just couldn't do it by
It
myself.
wasn't sustainable.
Not sustainable at all. We would have gone backwards quickly.
Yeah.
And so I pulled somebody in admin wise, and we also do CRM as well that we didn't do before because it wasn't part of our process at that point because we
Yeah.
didn't need it.
Yeah.
Or I felt we didn't need it, but we definitely did.